Father Joe Agostino, I want to ask a question. What is systemic change and what is the meaning of systemic change for you as the coordinator for Vincentian family around the world?
Many times people ask, what is the unique contribution that we bring as Vincentians to the church, to the world? And the reality is that there are two elements that are the heart of our missionary service. The first is the desire to work together, our collaboration with one another. That is one leg that we stand on. The second leg we stand on is systemic change, that as we work together, we try to be most effective in both our direct service of those in need, but especially and also in changing the systems, the structures that keep them in poverty, that keep them needing assistance in order to have fruitful lives. What we look at is how can we change the very structures in society in the way we do things that keep the poor oppressed. How can we free them from those oppressions so that they can truly live the life that God meant them to live?
How do you motivate, how do you urge the Vincentian family members to be active in the promotion of systemic change?
That is a great challenge because honestly it is the most difficult part of our mission. It's easy to immediately get satisfaction out of giving something to somebody in need. It is a lot more difficult dealing with the structures, with government, with regulations, with laws that are oppressive and harmful to people. But the only thing that we can truly do is, first of all, make sure that we as Vincentians in an area are speaking with one voice, that we use the power that we have, even if just by sheer number in a particular region, and mobilize that power in order to do good, in order to create change in society. We don't use our power. We are afraid to exercise our voice and to speak up collectively. I think the greatest motivation comes in that sense that we are family, that we are one, that from all these different branches, from all these different professions, we have the ability and the capability to make a difference in society if we use that collective voice. So it's just encouraging people to work together to make that happen.
Thank you for it. What is exactly the systemic change and what kind of spirituality that you can tell us about the systemic change?
Okay, very, very important question, Ignatius. Systemic change basically is the effort to work with people who are stuck in poverty to help them to find their way out of poverty, to live the abundant life that Jesus proclaimed. And it's important for Vincentians because St. Vincent drives us, sends us to the poor, and he asks us to serve the poor effectively. So the most effective thing we can do for the poor is to help them understand the systems and the structures that keep them poor and to find ways to change those systems, change those structures so that there can be greater justice, greater equality in society. And so in very few words, that's what systemic change is about, and that's the spirituality that drives us to do systemic change.
We want to know what is your expectation regarding these two systemic change projects for our Vincentian and for people around the world, Father.
So, as a Secretary General of the Congregation of the Mission, I know pretty well statistics. I know Asia will be the future of our congregations. For instance, I have been the opportunity to visit Vietnam last February. So in Vietnam we have more than 150 young people in formation, more than in the whole Europe. So Asia is the future of our congregations. This is very encouraging for us, but it is a big responsibility as well. So I think my first expectation for Asia is a good formation of many, many young people who are preparing themselves to be a priest or good lay people. Formation for what? Formation for a poor church, not a rich church, an ecclesiastic church, but a poor church, as Pope Francis told us many times. A church of lay people, not of clerics. A lay people, as the Vatican II told us many, many years ago. A church attentive to social values, to justice, and more than the rights. Then a church more attentive to social values, solidarity, ecology, than personal sins. As a church open, able to dialogue with the world which is changing everywhere. So I think this is my first hope. A good formation for the young people, who are the young church today and the leaders of the church tomorrow.
And you said that you have the second important point. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yes. My second hope for Asia is about inculturation of the gospel. I know that Asia has a long and rich tradition of religion. Asia has many rich values and a good wisdom, especially in regard to the importance of life, earth, human person. So I think it can do much more about that. In these days, I am here to speak about systemic change, the importance of this mentality, to serve globally the person, the whole world. I think Asia can help us much more in this task. Actually, I'm here to speak, to teach about systemic change, but I realize that what I am receiving is much more than what I am giving. I think that Asia can help us to have a wider vision of the real problems in the world today. In this perspective, I think that Asia has much more to give the Western world than it received from the Western world so far. So this is my second hope.
We know that Sister Teresa Kotturan, SCN, is Indian sister who works for United Nations representing the Vincentian family there. And now it's good for us to see her mission in United Nations. Sister, may we know what kind of mission do you have in United Nations, and what connecting you as the Vincentian family and United Nations missions?
I represent the Sisters of Charity Federation, who are part of the Vincentian family at the United Nations as a NGO rep. Our ministry is being the voice of the poor at the global level. What gives credibility to us is our ministry to the people living in poverty at the grassroots and the margins. So we are the connectors from the grassroots to the global scene. And at the same time, we bring the global policies and concerns back to the people, to the grassroots. So we are the connecting link at the global and local level. And without the people who work at the grassroots, we have no credibility. We are there because of our charism to go to the poor and be with the poor, serve the poor, and allow them to work for their own transformation and change. So that is really systemic change. Let the people work for their transformation. And at the United Nations, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development goal is considered as the agenda for transforming our world. So it is a call for systemic change. It is the signs of the times for us to work for common good. It is to ensure that we leave no one behind, and our focus is on those people who would be left as the least. So, our mission here and there ties in, leave no one behind. That is real working for charity and justice. It's a culmination of justice. And mostly our effort is to work for policy changes, which is incremental, because we don't make large changes. We change a word here or there, but that has enormous impact. Like when the 2030 agenda was being negotiated, we were able to get 2 words into the declaration: human right to water and sanitation, which ensures that people who have the need for safe drinking water and sanitation have a right to demand that from their government. It cannot be provided by corporations as a profit-making venture. So we do advocacy with member states for policy changing.
Okay.
And that policy change, in order to get implemented, those of us who work at the grassroots level have to do advocacy with the government at the local and national level to see that happen as a reality.
Hello, I'm Father Greg Banaga. I am Vincentian from the Philippines. And 2 years ago, I was still president of the university of, we call it the Adamson University in Manila. And I was there for 16 years, working with young people all of those years. I'd like to tell you how you as young people can be agents of change from where you are and what you are doing. And one of the things that you can do, in my opinion, is the use of social media. The use of social media, we can collaborate with other people. We can share with them some situations of poverty. We can share with them the root causes of poverty, where poverty is coming from in your society, and what we can do. I believe in the potential of young people. In fact, if there is a change that will happen today in society, I think it is because of young people. So I would like to encourage you. And since you are listening to us from a Vincentian perspective, we are coming here in a seminar on collaboration and systemic change. One of the best ways that I suggest is to coordinate, to link with the Vincentians here in Indonesia, with the different branches of the Vincentian family, like the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, the Congregation of the Mission, the Daughters of Charity, and the other groups that are working for change and for the poor. Good luck to you, and I would like to see change happening because of young people like you.
My name is Sister Josephine from the Congregation Sister of Charity of Jesus and Mary, Mother of Good Succor. I'm involved in Vincentian Family and formation. What I learned from this gathering, from this workshop, if Vincentian family would like to help the poor, it is not enough to give them money or to give them charity, because it doesn't empower them. But what we need to be aware of, why they become poor, what factor, what condition, what system they make that situation happen to that people. That awareness is really important, because when we aware what situation make them poor, we can give them suitable information probably and suitable help to empower them. So it is not enough to give them money, for instance, or to advise them without understand better what condition make them in that particular situation. I think information for the sister or for the brother, it is really good to inform them what condition make them in such situation.
I am Sister Bernadette Kantong from Thailand. Many problems like migration and human trafficking, family problems, drug addiction, and with disability, elderly and women. Most of our projects in Thailand about community-based service to respond these issues on our social problem. We did not realize that what we have doing is a systemic change. Every time we start our program, we based on the needs of the poor, and we work with them and with the local government and even the national level. ขอบคุณค่ะ